Hey guys, howdy do. I'm Karen Adamski with shamamama.com, and today I wanted to just share a quick crystal grid with you. And this is a grid that is to bring in and attract prosperity and abundance. And I chose this grid because this week I'm focusing on bringing in good juju and lots of positivity to your office space or your workspace, whether that be in a corporate environment or within your home. It could be within a warehouse, wherever it is, you know, there's always room to build a grid. So, but keeping in mind while I'm doing this, you know, if you want to build this someplace else that has absolutely nothing to do with your work, that's fine too. So it could, you know, have to do with your love life. It could have to do with your family, your overall happiness, whatever. So it's not just work related, but that's my intention of doing this today. So here's what we're going to be working with. A little bit of sea salt, bloodstone. There's some clear crystal quartz. Here's some more bloodstone, some amazonite, fluorite, and citrine. And then I have a note here and $1, so I'm going to get to that in a second. All right, so getting started. First thing I like to do is spread a little bit of sea salt, and this is simply for purification. You don't have to do this if it doesn't feel right to you, but to me it feels right. For me, sprinkling salt really kind of brings in elements of both the earth and water, the ocean. So, okay, so sea salt's down. I like to do that. I made a note for myself here. Don't know if you can read that there, but it's basically bringing in abundance and prosperity into all areas of my life: money, love, gratitude, body, mind, and spirit, health. So it's kind of what I'm looking for. So monetary is included in that. So I'm just tucking a $1 bill in here, but that's simply not the top priority. Just want to state that. But money is always welcome. All right, and because this is for prosperity and abundance, I really resonate with greens, greens and browns, kind of, but mostly greens. So I chose this bloodstone to, I don't know if you can see that very well. I chose this bloodstone as my center stone, and I like to always have a center stone in my all of my grids. All right, so there's my center stone, and then on this grid, we're basically going to be kind of forming a figure 8 or the infinity symbol. So I'm choosing to start off here with the center stone, and then using clear quartz. There's no rhyme or reason to this other than that's what my intuition kind of tells me to do. So just follow your intuition. You don't have to follow me or what I'm doing. It's about what resonates with you. I'm simply sharing what resonates with me in the hopes that it might inspire you in some sense. Okay, so those are 2 more bloodstones. I'm going to take the amazonite here and like that. And then my 2 citrines, I want to put those on the ends, I think. So I'm going to finish it up with this fluorite. Just want to make sure that really looks like a good figure 8. I think it does. I am very happy with that. Okay, so that is a good base crystal grid. Okay, but now we need to charge it or activate it, and to do that you can use any kind of wand, crystal wand, and this is I use this for all of my grids, but this is a clear quartz crystal on the end with a rutilated quartz on this end, and then the stones here representing the different chakras, and this is a branch of willow wood. So basically, to activate your grid, you don't need a fancy schmancy wand like this. You can just use any crystal that you have. I always like to use clear quartz, but You know, you can use whatever you'd like, whatever feels right to you, and as long as it has some sort of a point, that's what you want to use for your activation, okay? So I'm going to start here with the bloodstone, the center stone, and I'm going to take the energy to this one. I always like to work clockwise. So go from here to this crystal, and then from that crystal to this one. Now you can touch them like that if you'd like. I don't like to do that because it makes them move. But I'm telling you, I can feel like the magnetic pull of the energy on this. It's very strong. Okay. So you're just kind of stretching that energy from the middle point around the grid. So you just keep going, one stone at a time, going further with each rotation through the grid. Okay, this is just basically pulling the energy and kind of stamping the flow, mapping out the flow of energy. Okay, so this is now activated. The energy is fluidly moving. During this, rather than talking for the videos sake, I would be thinking about my intention or openly stating my intention, whichever I choose, but it would have been something along the lines of, I'm seeking prosperity and abundance in relation to my work, my income, my creativity, who I work with. I'd like to bring in an abundance of great people to work with and great clients that are like-minded. And that are doing work that is beneficial for all living things. Okay. And then you just leave this in your workspace. If somebody comes along and it's like, oh, what's that? And they touch it, you need to reactivate your grid. If you bump the rocks, you need to reactivate your grid. But for right now, it's working. So you can stop there if you'd like. You don't need to go any further. If you choose to go further, I wanted to kind of extend this out a little bit and show you how you can bring in the different elements to a working grid. Okay, so I did something a little bit different today when I was pulling my cards, because I pull a card for myself every day. But as I was pulling my cards today, I then went through my deck and just kind of picked the cards that resonated for me in terms of bringing in the different elements to this grid and honoring them. So for me, the condor represents air. So I'm going to put that over here on the east end. The humpback whale for me represents water. Put that on the west part of my grid. New beginnings for me represents my Shama Mama business. And where it's just a launching pad for me at this point. I can't wait to see where I end up, but it's going to be big. So this is a new beginning, big adventures. That's going in the south. And the reason I put this in the south is because that is kind of the area where you have a lot of energy and a lot of passion. So that's where I want to place that card. And then finally this card, what is it? The palm tree. I wanted to say banyan, but that's another one of my favorite trees. This one really, for me right now, resonates with Mother Earth. So I love the prayer flags in there, the indirect and direct reaching out to others and growing from one spot outward. It's very flexible. I don't know. I love this for Mother Earth. So putting that up here on the north. And then if I wanted to go even further, again, you can leave it at this if you want. But I do want to go a little bit further. I would like to add a crystal to each element. And that crystal I want to kind of bring in for that element, but also honoring the direction of the element. So the east, the spirit of the east, I would like to bring in moss agate. Okay. The spirit of the south, I would like to bring in two, actually. I'd like to bring in, this is red calcite, which represents fire. And the Shingalingam, this for me is like a representation of fertilization, cultivation, growing, just a kind of a new birth and a new growth process, hence new beginning. So I would like to leave that there. And then this is actually a piece of fluorite, but it's always reminded me of the ocean, because to me it just looks like an ocean scene down there. And so I'd like to offer that to the Spirit of the West. And then finally, lepidolite is my shaman stone, and this is always one that I use when I'm kind of tapping into the wisdom of others and that spirit realm and benefiting from their knowledge and learning that way. So I'd like to offer that to the Spirit of the North. I found this little, it just fell off my plant a few minutes ago, so I'm also going to put that here for Mother Earth. Okay, so I like that. I'm going to leave that for a while. I'm going to take this energy from the center grid, it's free flowing, and I'm going to extend it. Okay, so what I've done by kind of building on the grid is strengthening it. This is kind of like just a good juju battery right here. It's just a generator pumping out tons of good energy, and what it will bring back is abundance and prosperity. So looking forward to what that brings. So I hope that this has inspired you in some way. Please know that you don't need to do exactly what I've done. You take it in your own direction and do what feels right to you, and you'll get it. It's an awesome thing. So I hope you're well, be happy, be kind, and I will see you very soon. Namaste.